Hello, church family. I'd like to tell you the story about when I started learning how to drive. Back when I was 16 years old, the car that we had in our family that I was going to learn to drive on was a 1980 Volkswagen Rabbit. It had a pitiful little diesel engine in the front of the car, and I really had no experience in driving up to the point when Dad put me behind the wheel. Dad took me out onto some country roads out around Berea, Kentucky, and he pulled off to the side of the road. We changed seating positions. I got behind the wheel, adjusted everything just so, and I knew a little bit about what I needed to do in the car with the clutch and the brake and the gas and all of that. But knowing it and actually getting it to happen with your feet is a whole nother thing. Well, I started off like a lot of people do when they're learning how to drive and learning how to drive a stick shift. And it was a little rough there, but I was starting to get the hang of it. And then all of a sudden, Dad wanted me to take a left-hand turn at this intersection. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't get my feet and hands to coordinate in all of the right ways to make that turn go well. I went through that turn way too fast, and the car skidded off the road, and the back part of the car hit the guardrail in the back right. It put a dent in Dad's car, and I felt so bad about what I had done. Well, one of the things that I really remember about that moment was about how out of control I felt as I was careening around that corner in that little itty-bitty car. It was scary, it was terrifying, and it reminds me of so many of the other things that we experience in life where we feel completely out of control and we don't know what to do in order to make it right. Good Friday reminds me about that as well, in a lot of ways. What a curious name. Good Friday. Good Friday. How could it be all that good when it was full of so much bad? Well, there's a reason. And it has a lot to do with the wondrous love of God. What wondrous love is this? Oh, it's this that I'm about ready to share you. Good Friday is good because despite all of our human perceptions that all is lost on this dark day, that the disciples are scattered, that one of the disciples has betrayed Jesus, one of the disciples has denied Jesus, that Jesus is being killed on a very cruel cross. By all human perceptions, it would seem like everything was lost and that God had lost complete control over the darkness of humanity in that moment. But that is not true. That's only human perception. The beauty of Good Friday is that not all was lost, but instead, God was carrying out His good plan of salvation for His children. It did involve a lot of pain and sorrow and suffering, but that plan was being carried out undeterred by human interventions. And so, friends, when you experience a loss of control in your own life and you feel the chaos of the world or the evil of the world bearing down on you in your own life, when you think about this day and all of the horrors that it carries with us, remember this: that God was in control then. God is in control now. What wondrous love is this? It's this: that the very God who was in complete control on Good Friday, even though it would seem by the worldly standards that he wasn't, is the God that has us in the midst of all of the uncontrolled turns of our life now, and there are many. that in the midst of those uncontrolled moments, God has the wheel. God bless you and be safe. Amen.